well, as straight as possible because we're picking up speed kind of fast. We're up to 90, 100 kilometers an hour. Oh boy, this is where it's starting to go wrong. Okay. This is a pretty good start, but we need more room. And I know just how to do it. This is called the Enabler of Stupidity. It basically mines endless concrete, which I can then use to build stupid things. And I just want to be sure to have as much room as possible to finish building whatever it is I'm about to build. Whatever this turns into, I want it to hurt my computer. And I'm actually out of concrete. While I was waiting, we produced another 107, but then I remembered we have a storage container up top that has all the concrete I could ever want. Every once in a while, I am going to fall into the water. But that's okay. Nothing but time. Floor is done. Now to get started. I'm going to be really sick of running back and forth by the end of this. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing, so we're going to use level 3 conveyor belts. So that means I need to produce a lot of steel. That's actually a pretty good start, and we seem to have no shortage of ore going into it. So we're going to take all of this, put it out here in its upgraded form. Look at all that real estate. Basically, the only thing that's going to stay where it is the miner, which is level 2. So now the whole production is basically going to start way down here where I have lots of room to correct my mistakes. And I'm constantly going to be adding conveyor splitters everywhere I can. Even if I never use them, I have the option. So far so good, we've still got lots of room to work with. Before going any further, I need to see just how much iron ore I can deal with at once. Looks like a pretty good amount to me now that my backlog is cleared. The supply chain is now doing plates, rods, and screws as quick as it can. So I'm going to start splitting my supply chain to start storing some of this stuff because you never know when you're going to need it. Look how fast it goes. The storages will eventually fill up, and that's okay because once they're full, we have enough and they'll continue on that way. I'm actually disappointed on how organized and efficient this is so far. Now to start bringing the chains back together. This will combine things to make rotors. Then we're going to do the same thing for reinforced iron plates and other stuff. This is the part where things get screwy. We need to combine screws over here with plates way on the far side. And it's only going to get worse from here because we need to connect reinforced iron plates with rods that are way back there. But already I can see we can be making a lot more stuff all at the same time because we've got to jam up before we even enter smelter. And that's okay because we could add more smelting. What we also need is steel, so I'm going to hijack this. And this is exactly why I gave myself so much extra room everywhere. And I haven't even mentioned this other operation I have. And speaking of coal, it comes from way over here. And we need to make it a level 2 miner anyway, so this is going to be a little work. Not that we have any shortage of coal as it is. We're just going to have a lot more of it now. You can never have too much of anything. And while trying to bring my new coal all the way over here, I've run out of steel. And I actually can't believe we ran out. That's a lot of steel we've already gone through. After getting my steel thing set up, I realized I could probably be doing this faster because we have more iron and coal going in than we do bars coming out. So we'll just use some very clever conveyor belts to give ourselves a second foundry and more steel because I feel like we're gonna need a lot of it. And good news, we're also out of power now, so I need a second coal generator. For some reason, the game doesn't seem to like the options available. These take up a lot of space. Well, it's not the most perfect conveyor belt, but which one of mine are? This just exists to feed the coal into the power plant anyways. That only took forever, but now I've got twice as much power for twice as many buildings. Starting to get a little bit tight for room in spots that I didn't consider, but we're gonna make it work because conveyors can go pretty much anywhere. And just like that, we're finally back to producing steel beams. And that's pretty awesome because I've used about 1 million so far getting to this point. Which brings us back to modular frames. This is where the steel rods are currently being produced. They're going into either storage or to that machine, but I think I'm gonna produce another machine that can do the rods. Because this one's not really doing it fast enough. That's at least going to alleviate some of the pressure of all these bars we're stockpiling. Then we just need to find a way to fly it over to that thing, which shouldn't actually be that bad. But it's definitely going to start to get pretty messy from this point. Next, we're going to do encased industrial beams, so we need to bring concrete over here somehow along with steel beams. And since we've been waiting, we built up that much concrete. So we've got to get it from here down to there. For as much room as I gave everything, this is still quite a struggle to make it all fit together. It might only make 6 per minute, but I've got a lot of minutes. I barely use smart plating yet, but we'll get started on this, which is reinforced iron plates and rotors, which means this thing here, rotors, iron plates. Things like versatile framework and automated wiring I'm not going to build just yet because I think we could be doing more with our iron bars right now, plus we still have to do copper. And I guess I still have room for that. It feels so much busier from down below, but I have so much room left. So hopefully adding another constructor to all of my supply chain should help me take care of this excessive iron bars we have, because they're no good sitting on conveyor belts. And with this little addition, we've got all sorts of screws going all sorts of places, but eventually to where they're needed. And it turns out all this building has run me out of power one more time, so I'm going to start manually connecting back, and I'm gonna have to build more power at some point. But for now, I'm gonna be lazy and just build another biomass burner just to get things rolling along. For some reason, when I jump into the middle of things, I get a pretty bad frame drop. But that might be because the game is trying to deal with a lot of conveyor belts currently. Alright, now it's time to mix copper into this disaster. I will note, at this point, power is the one thing really holding me back. If I had more power, I would go way bigger. So let's see if we can find a spot to make more power. This coal is now feeding my third power plant, so we have more power so we can do even more crap. Like replace our old copper miner with a better one. This should be all the copper I need for now. Just need to figure out what I'm doing with it. It took me all night and it's not pretty, but I'm now producing all sorts of copper products. I know I'm gonna need these pretty soon, but I'm producing the ingredients for these on opposite ends of the world. So let's talk about versatile framework, just because it's easier for me. It's definitely a very expensive item to build. We're gonna get the steel frames from here and then the steel from somewhere over there. And by happy coincidence, I ran out of steel beams just as I was extending from it. And that's a connecting piece, so now I'm producing whatever those things are. They're gonna take a long time, but at least they're doing them by themselves. And we're still getting a lopsided amount of some things, like these, whereas its partner ingredient is very slow to produce, but that's okay because we've got a surplus. I'm just currently unable to keep track of everything because there's so many conveyors going everywhere, I'm not really sure what's going where anymore. And for what it's worth, I'll go through the miserable process to do this. The pipes I need are being produced here. I've got to get them from here all the way over to the other edge of the crater. Luckily for me, things don't have to look pretty. You know what? That really wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. But good news, we seem to be running out of power again already, which is weird because I didn't think I had that many things, but yep, we're sure out of power. I think the problem is when everything activates at once, it spikes it up to its breaking point because normally it doesn't really get there. Interestingly, I can tie power grids together to make them bigger. I didn't know I could do that, so I'm going to combine everything I have. And again, that might be a bad idea because if the power grid goes down, I won't really know where the problem is. Okay, while I'm at it, I'm just going to make the motors. I know I'm going to need them eventually. I'm finally at the point where I'm triple stacking conveyors. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Well, now that I'm at the point where I'm producing everything I possibly can be producing, it's time to screw around so that stuff has a chance to actually produce. While it's fun and all messing with what's down there, I kind of wonder how high we can go and what we can do up there. So back in the sucky tube and let's go get some concrete. Also, things go faster downhill than they do uphill. Sucky tubes are fast, but we could probably create something a lot faster. All it takes to make ramps, foundations, flooring is only concrete. So I'm going to put a storage container somewhere to store all my crap for the time being, and then I'm gonna load up on concrete. Correction, I'm gonna build 2 of these because I can't even hold as much as my body can. We don't have quite as much of a stockpile as we had before, but we've got enough for now. Plus we're producing it up top at the base I haven't even been to yet. The tallest ramp I could build is 8 by 4 meters, so I'm just gonna stack these up basically all the way until I run into the sun, or something stops me. Don't worry, this is totally gonna be worth it. Just think of the view. The sun's going down, but we're already higher than the edge of the crater. We're gonna be higher than the mountain soon, and eventually higher than that thing. Plus, I haven't actually really seen what's out there in the world. I've spent all of my time mostly in this big hole. Little by little, we're getting there. The ramp is already starting to look weird at the bottom. And the weirder things get, the happier I am. The pink sky definitely looks nice up here. Probably should have brought a parachute now that I think about it. So, I guess that's the edge of the world over there where those square pieces are. And waterfalls, you just kind of go nowhere from nowhere. At this point, probably safe to say we're getting pretty high up. See a little bit of trees over there and not much in any direction. We're almost as high as our space platform. This is more what I was looking for. Absolute nothingness, just the big pink. I think something is happening at this height. It won't let me go any higher because it wants to kill me. I'm not sure how high up I can, but yeah, I'm going to assume that's the limit. I think I started with about 3,400 concrete, so it took about 2,300 to get here. I don't know how high this is, but it's pretty high, but I do want to see what happens if I jump from here. Oh, okay, the game does not like that very much. There's the elevator. It seems to be damaging me. I'm not really sure why. Probably going to be a minute before we hit the ground because we were pretty high up after all. And I'm probably going to land somewhere off in no man's land. Right, yep, definitely not enjoying that. So it turns out it's actually the edge of the map. It's not necessarily the height limit, but it is as far over as I can go. I'm gonna go get my truck because I'm pretty sure this is about as big of a ramp as I can make. Even just sliding down it takes forever. I just noticed my awesome knee pads for the first time. They're definitely gonna come in handy when I fall from 12,000 feet. Look, we can see the space elevator again. Yeah, I'm definitely bringing a parachute next time and just jumping. This takes way too long. And touchdown! That only took forever. That is quite a ramp. You can even see the top still. I'm impressed. Alright, I know what to do. Just gotta make the very long journey upwards. And just in the off chance I do make it to the bottom, we'll see how far we can go. At 10 kilometers an hour, this better be a good result. I'm already a little concerned by the way this thing pulls ever so slightly to the right. Looking down kinda gives you an appreciation for the height and how much ramp we have to drive down. The only question now is, will I run out of fuel before reaching the top? Are we starting to get worried we were never gonna make it? I can also drive past the edge of the map without taking damage, so this might be something to play with down the road. But for now, our mission is pretty clear. Try and drive this thing straight down without dying, without falling off the edge. Alright, nice and straight to start. Not gonna go too fast right away. Want to make sure I'm pointed, well, as straight as possible because we're picking up speed kinda fast. We're up to 90, 100 kilometers an hour. Oh boy, this is where it's starting to go wrong. Okay, we hit about 100 before losing control. And there goes the map. Let's try that again. Maybe if we just let it go by itself, it'll run in a perfectly straight line. No, it's curling to the left already. We're gonna have to adjust it as we go. I'm also not holding the accelerator at all for this, but we're doing better than last time. Oh, we're okay. We're going to 130, but we seem to be leveling off speed. 140. But I try and go forward a bit. It's already kind of squirrely though. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping it in the center. It wants to hop so much. You can't do it. Alright, well, we're going back to Earth. It's really hard to drive that thing straight. I would make a double wide ramp, but I just don't really have the time. But we'll just... Oh, okay. That's that. Let's say one more try, this time with a bit of acceleration. Just, you know, to see how fast we can go. What did we hit last time? 130, 140? Okay, the acceleration might actually help me in some way keep it steady. No, not really. We're still hitting about the same speeds. 110, 112. I think I go faster if I don't hold the acceleration. Either way, it goes out of control and we're boned. Oh, no, we got this. We're good. Nope. Oh, that was going to be such a good recovery. Well, at least we get to explore new parts of the map before exploding all over the world. All right, well, that was a pretty big waste of time. Story of my life. But there's a lot of fun things we can do with this one.